So I was perusing Twitter the other day and I came across this tweet from Nintendo basically stating that the next console they would be making, which surprised the crap out of me, they would even be making another console, was going to be backwards compatible with the games from the Nintendo Switch, which is cool, and I'm actually incredibly happy about that, despite the fact that I own no physical copies of any of the games I own for the Switch, and when I do eventually get games for my Nintendo Switch, they will more than likely be digital only, because physical copies can sometimes be hard to come by, and also incredibly fucking expensive, and I also do not leave my house. But the point is that it's a really cool thing, and it's something that gamers have been wanting for basically ever. I remember when I first got my hands on the PlayStation 3 and I was playing PlayStation 2 and even PlayStation 1 games on it, and I was just happily in my own little world enjoying myself, not realizing that the only reason I was ever able to do that was because the PlayStation 3 that I owned was a Model 1, meaning it was one of the only PlayStation 3s out there, well, one of the only models of PlayStation 3s out there that were able to play older games. Nothing shattered my heart into pieces more than when I got my hands on my PS4 and realized that every single game that I owned, which at the time was literal hundreds, we're talking a couple of decades of collecting video games, none of them worked. I couldn't put them in my console and play them, which was depressing and inherently frustrating. And when the PlayStation 5 was being talked about and I was sitting around waiting for the announcement, the one thing that I wanted to see was backwards compatibility for all Sony consoles, and we didn't get that. And so I've been wanting to make a video on backwards compatibility for a while, but the problem that I have is I don't really know what to say. I tried writing a script for this video because normally when I don't really know what to say or how to put things to the page, I just write a script and they kind of flow naturally and then I have a thought process. But even trying to write a script for this video for the past, I'd say, honestly, a couple of months, I still couldn't really come up with anything. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Backwards compatibility is good. We should have backwards compatibility. Why don't we have backwards compatibility? And part of the reason, or the reasons that I could think of, is just generally money. Corporate greed, what it always is. And that started getting me to thinking about how the lack of backwards compatibility within the gaming sphere is directly or indirectly, whichever one you want to go with, responsible for the mass amount of pirating that games often face. Here's the thing about pirating, right? People will pay for things that they enjoy. And it has been shown in the past that people can pirate a game, enjoy it, and then buy that game. Because people are willing to support what they enjoy. This isn't a secret. I mean, that's how the live service model exists. People enjoy the game that they're playing, and then they buy the cosmetics so they can support the studio, so they can continue to enjoy the game that they are enjoying. The same thing happens with content creators. People watch content creators, they watch their YouTube videos or their live streams or whatever, and then they give the content creator money because they're enjoying the content and they want the content creator to make more content. I'm not saying if you don't give money that you don't enjoy a content creator. I think very few content creators think like that. We understand that everybody has their own lives, their own struggles, their own things to work with. Please don't ever feel like if you're not giving a content creator money that you're somehow less appreciated, especially like in my own personal, I can only speak for myself obviously, but I don't appreciate people less just because they don't give me money. I understand. I'm surprised even one person decides to give me money, much less like over 100 people a month. So the point is that in my life, I have noticed that people will give money to things that they want to support. They will give money to people that they want to see be able to make more of the things that they are enjoying. It's no different than paying for a ticket to go see a concert for a song that you already listened to on your Spotify, or buying a book, or buying a ticket to go and get a special edition of that book signed by the author themselves. Going see a movie multiple times. Like, When people are entertained, they understand, even if it's subconsciously, that the people who are creating the things entertaining them need to make a living. And because those people need to make a living, they will buy what they need to buy. But the thing is that game accessibility has become so scarce as of recent years that people have struggled to be able to buy games that they want to play. I'll give you a great example. The PS5, I think last year or in recent months, released a digital port of Legend of Dragoon, which is my personal favorite video game of all time. And I was incredibly happy when they did that, because that meant that more modern gamers, more of the generations after me, would be able to experience a game that changed my fucking life. Like, my little 9-year-old brain was exploded when I first played Legend of Dragoon. And every year for a very long time, I would replay through the series once a year. I would literally take a time, sit down for a week or two, and just replay the entire game, because it is legitimately my favorite game of all time. It's the ending song to all of my outro videos. Many people have noticed this. And after it got released for the PS5, more people started recognizing the outro music within my videos and started going, "Oh my God, is that Legend of Dragoon's menu music?" Yes. Yes, it is, because it's an amazing game. But the only reason so many people got to experience it was because Sony decided they were going to finally release the fucking thing. And I'm sorry, that's just not a fair thing to happen. And I will tell you that the disc version of that game is incredibly expensive. It is incredibly expensive and very hard to get a hold of. The last time that I had to replace my disc copy, it was like $100 and something. And this was a few years ago. This was probably like 8 years ago. I had to pay $110 to replace my physical copy in order to continue to play my favorite game. So backwards compatibility is something that we just greatly need to be encouraging a lot more within the gaming world. But if they're not going to do backwards compatibility, the least they can do is start opening up digital libraries of all of their games. I think one of the most frustrating things that I've come across is when trying to go through these digital libraries that have these old games, like for example, on the Switch, there was a really big problem of, first off, I didn't even know what games were in there. They don't tell you what games are on there before you buy them. But second off, it's missing a whole bunch. The last time I tried, there were no Nintendo GameCube games in the digital library for the Switch. But more than that, there were also just a whole bunch of games missing. I couldn't play any of the Mega Man games. I couldn't really play, I don't think Contra was on there as well. It's just so hard to get a hold of gaming history, and I think that that's one of the worst and most tragic things. People should be able to play old games, and companies should be allowing this, not only allowing it, but also actively encouraging people to play older games so that people can experience gaming throughout history. You're never going to catch a movie studio or a TV show studio or anything trying to hide and squirrel away all of the copies of the old stuff they used to have. No, you can access DVDs at any time that you want, and a lot of the times these companies are releasing streaming services that have almost their entire library. Gaming companies just seem to be the only companies out there that are actively trying to hide the past from us, and I really don't understand. As an older gamer, not only do I want to play these old games myself again, but I also want the younger generations to experience it, so I can see people fall in love with the games I once fell in love with. But that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you listening to me ramble for a little bit, and let me know what you think down below. And as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Need more Kaiser in your life? Well, I've got you covered. Check out my second channel, The Kaiser Extras, where I upload full gameplays, stream compilations, me reacting to your Dead by Daylight clips, and more. We also upload a daily short with all the greatest clips from stream. We'll see you over there. Link is in the description.